What is up, guys, gals, and all you awesome gamers out there? It is I, Josh, and welcome to Free Gamers and a Mic. And as usual, joined by two awesome fellow gamers of the night, Tom and Adam. Say hello, Tom and Adam.
Hello, Tom and Adam.
Hello, Tom and Adam.
Oh my god. Oh, I see. This is going to be like a running trend, isn't
Yes.
it? Where I try to be all professional, and you just, like, destroy it. You destroy what could be an amazingly professional podcast. Thanks a lot!
We've done
You're
that
fired.
for the past two. Why are we going to change
That's
now?
what I mean!
You live.
Either way, lots of amazing topics to talk about today, but before we jump into the main ones, I just want to bring something up. I think we talked about this before, or maybe we didn't. I think I brought it up at least outside the podcast and with other people, but Deus Ex Human... What's it called? What's the next one called? I can't remember. It's like my favourite franchise.
Division Unloaded, I don't know.
Division and... Oh, Human Divided.
Humanity
Humans
Divided. What the
Mankind
go.
Divided. There's all this humanity everywhere. It's crazy. All that Dark Souls. But you may have noticed that they have just cancelled officially the augmented pre-order
Yes!
crap. Which is amazing,
Oh
don't you
my
think?
God.
Square Enix.
Have they actually got rid of it?
It feels
Yeah, they cancelled
like
it based on feedback.
overthrowing a dictator is the best.
Who would have thought Square Enix would have gone, we fudged up.
Yeah, Square Enix tend to not notice when they're fucked up.
But now what they're going to do is they're just going to put them all into separate models, I think. So it'll be one of those things where it's like, if you want the action figure, you need to buy this bundle for £2,000.
I
don't-
quite like. To be fair, there's quite a few collector's editions I have. Like I got the Play Arts Kai White Raiden with Metal Gear Rising, and I've got the Alduin Wall from Skyrim, so I quite like the actual physical collector stuff.
Oh, same.
Not the digital I don't like this digital collecting
Yeah,
crap. The stuff that
yeah.
should have been in the game anyway. But a
Well, that's the
physical
thing.
thing, I'm well up for
I
doing it.
have-
Hell, I even bought the AVP collector's edition because it
You
came with a
dirty
model face
hobo.
hugger, which was wicked.
Wicked.
I have 3
Pip
collector's
down.
editions, and I'm not telling
Okay.
you what they are.
Yeah, yes you are. I'm sorry, you cannot say you have 3 and then not tell everybody.
Is it my llama? My llama is a girlfriend? My girlfriend is a llama. I can't even say that right.
Is it Barbie Horse Adventures Collector's Pack with the free pink Barbie horse in tutu?
No, it's not.
Yeah, now complete with NFC.
It's actually not. It's the... Oh my god, I really don't want to say it.
Oh, I'm going to be able to use this against him in the future.
You use it against me anyway. It's the
Yeah.
collector's edition for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, alright?
Did it come with anything?
The Mass Effect 1 literally
Apart from
just
empty
comes
from-
with like a steel book and like a little...
That's
that
not
was-
bad.
It's not a box full of empty promises. Is it?
No, and again, the Mass Effect 2 one kind of just came with a steel book and some... I think there was some armor that you could get in the game.
I like how he's building up to Mass Effect 3.
That's right. Oh, there was a comic in it. The comic was pretty cool, actually.
Right.
So, suck
what-
on
wait.
that one.
What about Mass
What
Effect
about Mass
3?
Effect 3? It was like in a bigger box. It had a steel book, an art book, all that shit. An N7, I at the mic. An N7 Velcro thing that you
Keep
can
passionate.
stick on your shirt. Another comic
Skip
book
Pros.
and a little statue of the Normandy. So
Did it come with Mass Effect 3?
no, they left that one out, and I'm quite glad.
I was actually gonna say if it did, I was gonna go, oof, sorry.
And of course, the ultimate special edition you bought was Saints Row the 4th, so you're going to go fly in space.
Oh yeah, I bought the $1 million one from the Saints Row.
yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That'd be
you're going to get a
amazing.
Lamborghini Gallardo with
Yeah,
that, and a Toyota Prius.
Yeah, and
Why you get a Lamborghini and a Toyota?
yeah, you're ever gonna
It's
drive the friggin' Toyota.
I mean, the only ones I can remember that I've got, if I look behind me, I do actually have the Adam Jensen Play Arts figure, which is really badass, by the way. But I didn't buy it with the collector's edition. I didn't want to splurge that much. But I got it separately. I also have. Oh, this is one that I don't know if I partially regret or maybe I don't. I
or
don't
fully
know, but
regret.
yeah, I got the Founders Edition of Warframe, which came with the statue figure.
Alright, Warframe's cool. I like Warframe.
Is Warframe
I
the mining one?
No, Warframe's the ninja robot
No.
one.
That's the
yeah,
that's the
with plenty
Dark
of
Sector
mining
thing.
and grinding.
It's got grinding in it. I don't know about
What do you mean by mining?
Well-
Do you mean literal mining?
Well, no, like grinding, but you're getting supplies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
say,
yeah, you do
Do
mine
you
a
mean
lot.
literal mining? I was like,
Hey, there's not an actual... I mean, we've got Minecraft and stuff, but there's no literal mining simulator. I want to be up in the coal mines, up in,
I
like,
think
yeah,
you're down
old
in the
school-
coal mines.
well...
I got the black lollipop.
No, up for me, because it's a northern thing.
Excuse me, we don't all work in the mines, right? In fact, very
No,
few
no,
of us
no,
work in the
you're-
mines anymore.
You're all
We
fracking
import
instead
all
now,
that
aren't you?
shit from Scotland.
But yeah, I mean, apart from those, I mean, the main thing is though that it's really good that Square Enix have actually accepted this shizzle, and I'm looking forward to seeing the domino effect it may potentially have, because that's generally what happens. Once one studio does it, other studios are kind of like, oh great, they're coming for us next. Now they're going to expect something out of us as well. So it's making me wonder, I mean, what other kind of like crazy like pre-order things can we think of that have actually happened as well at the moment? Like, I personally didn't really like the Fallout 4 one. I'm sorry, but even though I like Fallout, the Pip-Boy thing seemed a bit of a rip-off.
It would have been fine if it works on its own and it's not a case of, oh, by the way, there's a frame here.
Yeah,
And you've got to put your iPhone, your compatible iPhone in it. That's just a kick in the teeth, especially if anyone, has a decent taste in phones.
Comes perfectly around the time of the iPhone 6 as well.
Didn't Resident Evil 5 have a snow globe with it if you pre-ordered that one?
Did it?
Yeah,
I
remember that being...
I don't know, I never pre-ordered that.
I'm having a look.
Ooh.
What was that?
It's my chair. I need to WD-40 this chair. I need to stop rocking on it.
It was like a fail trumpet or something.
I'll use that now. If anyone's going too far off topic, I'll use the chair of brr.
That was so good. It just happened at the right time. But anyway, first main topic.
Sorry, yeah, Resident Evil 5 did come with a snow globe at pre-order. That's
Did
by
it?
far the
That's so
stupidest thing
rubbish.
I've ever seen. That's rubbish. That's tattoo by abroad for your family. That's not something you get on a pre-order.
Just a quick question before we move on. What was in the snow globe?
It's just a picture. It's just like a statue of Chris and Shiva with their backs to each other. And it's not really
Square
snow,
Enix
it's like
businessman's
sand.
collective dandruff in some form of preservative
Yeah.
liquid.
Oh.
Sonic Lost World had just 25 extra lives if you pre-ordered. That is the
That's so
scummiest
good.
thing ever.
The amount of people who are going to probably get it pre-owned and die
Yeah,
get an
I
extra
know.
life just in case. I mean, the one thing as well, because you mentioned as well quickly that you hate those digital pre-orders too. They actually had that in the Mankind Divided, like, augmented pre-order thing as well. So again, I bet that's what they're going to do. They're just going to separate all that stuff out and not even give it part of the game anyway. I mean, the funny thing is that those things are there miles away from the actual release of the game. And so it's kind of like one of those weird things where it's like, what, don't you generally announce, like, after release DLC pretty close to the actual release? Not, like, a year
Yeah.
away from the actual release. So it makes them look scummy either way now.
But
Yeah, so collector's editions I quite like. Pre-order digital rubbish,
Yeah,
no.
I don't.
Actually, saying that, I think the biggest thing I ever got was Modern Warfare 2. I got the one with the night vision goggles.
Oh, you didn't?
I did.
Did they even work?
Yeah, they actually did. However, the thing is, when on earth am I going to use night vision goggles?
Yeah, there is. Well, apart from creeping, but
I don't know if when you go
he's saying that while quickly grabbing Adam from behind.
when you go for a
Covering his up.
pee in the middle of the night because
When-
your bladder can't.
when you feel like putting on a Michael Ironside impression and walking around all the time. Yeah, that works.
Awesome. All those cool things. But anyway, we're going to move on to the main topic, and this one is actually from Adam, so Adam's going to be doing the majority of the talking here. I'm just going to stay really, really quiet.
No, that's not
and
how a
just cackle in
discussion
the
works,
background.
Josh.
I know. I'm
I
kidding.
believe that's
But
called
anyway,
a dictatorship.
Yeah.
A dicta-
And we've just
Oh,
got
I
rid of
see,
Square
yeah.
Enix doing that. Don't pass the buck to me, right?
I'm the new monster. But anyway, death of high street video game stores. Should I say stores or shops? Is shops more
Shops
British?
is more British. Bickies!
Everyone else.
Bickies at the shopping market.
I've
But
got,
anyway, definitely the high street video game shops. I mean, that's something that I can kind of relate to. Like in York, where I live, we used to have an electronics boutique. We had a game station, and we had something else. But now it's literally just game.
Yeah, I know.
Everywhere's gone. HMV used to be quite big into games too, but they've kind of
it's shrunk
out.
way down in HMV. I think, strangely enough, the biggest place on our high street these days, apart from game, is CEX.
All right, yeah, CEX.
See, we've got,
I always feel really dirty when I go in
A
there.
CEX in Hull, but we also have a game in Hull, and we also have a Granger Games, whatever the hell that is. But
yeah,
the
it's like a
CEX is
scummy trap
smaller,
version.
and it's a lot harder to get to and out of the way than the game is, so the game gets more used. But it kind of brought it up because kind of like, obviously Blockbuster died out quite a while ago, and that was kind of like this like ripple effect of, you know, shops being not so much of a big deal because people can do everything digitally now. But I went into
That was great when it shut down, actually. The amount of games I bought from Blockbuster when they shut down for like £1 each.
Yeah, I also
Was it really like
the
that?
Blockbuster in my town tore down their sign and left the wood out front and was like, take it. So we got firewood for like a year.
Firewood? You make it sound like you're some kind of hobo.
No, we have a real coal fire in our house. It's nice to
Like
get
a
free
hobo?
firewood. Like a hobo. I said in our house. How many hobos have houses?
You mean your
literally
cardboard box?
0, because that is the definition of hobo.
As you're
Shut
rubbing your
up and let me
twigs together
fucking
on your beaten down Blockbuster signage.
Yeah, so I went into the game in Hull not long ago, and they had this big ass poster up, and it's like, join us for midnight releases of like Halo 5, Tomb Raider, Battlefront, all the COD blops if you're that interested, all of those. And I don't know, it brought something back. I was like, I miss this. I miss being able to just go into the shop and talk to the guy behind the counter, and he actually knows what he's on about, and he's like, yeah, I've played this one, it's kind of shit, or whatever he has to say. And then I came home, and I was like, I'm going to shop in game stores more. And then I looked on the marketplace and bought like 3 games, and then I bought like 2 off Steam. I was like, oh yeah, this is why I shop here, because it's so goddamn easy. And there's literally no reason to traipse 45 minutes through to the town to even shop for something that they might not even have, because they've only got a limited amount of shelves.
Apart from Subway, generally, if I go to game, I go to Subway right afterwards as a treat.
That's fine, but
That's a punishment.
That's
What?
an incentive.
Subway's
I'm sorry.
glorious,
That's an
Tom.
incentive. Yeah, what are you on about? Smacking you in the face right now with a French star.
Disclaimer: we are in no way sponsored or endorsed by Subway.
yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. We love all that money. No.
No, but yeah, I definitely feel like they're dying out, but I think it's kind of a shame. Because there's a certain quirk to them, but I am a hypocrite because then I'll buy all my games online.
Do you know what would actually help? Is the fact that I walk into a game shop, I'm like, okay, I'm in here, you know, I kind of want to pick up this game, I'm in the right mood to buy it, I have a look, pick it up, look at the price, put it down, turn around and walk out. They charge consistently, especially for console games, upwards of about 55 quid now. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, whereas you can just go, oh, well, I'm going to go onto Amazon and I'll buy that and it will turn up tomorrow for like 2/3 of the price.
And it's a case of like,
or even like Tesco, Asda, and places like that. Quite often I could do my supermarket shopping, grab my groceries, and okay, there it is. It's the price I would get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's, why would I want to go out the way to get it at game?
yeah, exactly.
There is no
seeing that
incentive.
Something that I really loved before game, though, was Game Station. The main reason being with Game Station is that they had a refund policy, which basically meant that even if you opened the game and tried it, you had 10 days to take it back. You can obviously tell the reason why they were so good and got bought out by Game. That's why Game basically owns everything now. They are literally the Hitler of game stores at the moment. but it was so good because I could literally buy a game. It was kind of against GameStation though, which makes you wonder if they actually had any money by the end of it. Because you could buy a game, play it, complete it within the week, take it back and trade it for another one. And also you just had to make some crappy remark like, "Oh, it wasn't for me." That's literally what I used to do. When I was at university, I think I may have bought like maybe 5 games in total, and the rest of them, like Dark Souls 1, or Demon Souls, sorry, just any kind of series that continued, I'd buy the first game, and then I'd just take it back and start another series.
If you completed Demon Souls within a week, then hats off to you.
Yeah, you deserve
when
to
that
get your
game
money
came
back.
out, I had no idea what on earth was going on.
Oh, I completed it, but it took me like a year to platinum it. Yes, I platinumed Demon Souls.
And another thing, it's like the harassment in game shops. Like, my mate this is why I was in game, because my mate was buying an Xbox One, because I told him to. And he was getting it. And he put it on the counter, and that's like 299 quid or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, but do you want to pay extra for the Kinect version?" "Nah, you're alright, I just want that one." "Well, do you want to pay extra for the plug and charge version?" "Nah, you're alright, I just want that one." "Well, for 10 quid extra, it comes with a free copy of Fallout New Vegas." "I just want this one, okay? Okay, we've got store credit. Do you want to add it to your store credit? "I just want the fucking console in a bag, and I'll give you 300 quid. You can keep the extra quid to just stop asking me questions, alright? I want to go to Subway. I need to get my pastrami melt."
But I mean, it's one of those things, I actually completely relate to that too, because I remember when I went to go pre-order Far Cry 4, and they kept bugging me about that season pass.
Exactly.
And the thing is, if you deny any kind of offer from them, they patronize the shit out of you. And it's like, "Oh, why don't you need that? You must not have any money," or something like that. You know, they kind of like, "Oh, well, you obviously don't understand." It's like, I do understand. I don't know what the hell I'm paying for, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, it is though. It's like you go in, you buy your game. It's like, "Oh, are you sure you don't want the DLC for that?" No, I'm quite sure." "Really? Because you can't really enjoy the game fully if you don't get it as well. So you might as well."
And the funny thing is, I actually ended up getting the pre-order stuff in the end. I came back as they made me feel guilty, and I was like, "You know what? I'll get your season pass."
You would do terribly around Jedi.
Anyway, I ended up getting the season pass because they were going, "Oh well, if you get this, you get the initial unlock for the harpoon cannon," and it's literally a mission. It's a mission that you do, and it's like 20 seconds long. And I was like, this is how they trick you. This is how they get you. And after that, I just hate retail in any kind of form. But now because you've got all these online stores and stuff, you can kind of trust yourself because you can see the other opinion of everybody else. It's like a giant consumer base looking at the order on, say, Steam or Origin or whatever, and they can all communally just go and hate on it or like it, and you can feel inspired or some kind of like feeling of, like other people maybe unsure just like you, which is good. You don't get that in a game.
Like there's so many reasons to not have game shops anymore and simply buy online, but I'm in this mode where I don't want to lose them completely. I like to have that option there.
Yeah, it's the tradition.
Because like going in at midnight release, you'll never get that online, sitting in front of your computer screen in your pants at home in the dark, just like, "It's almost there. Release, buy." No one to share that
Not even
with.
that, because remember that if you're in the UK, aren't you down to the ruling law of the US release date anyway?
So it could be like...
So even when it's hit midnight, we gotta still wait like 6 hours or something.
Exactly, so...
It's just ridiculous.
Now, just as a thing about, like, the joys of going into the experience and how you don't want it to end.
This is about the death! We're supposed to be negative.
No, we're not.
No.
That question didn't mean it as in, like, I was saying, are they dying out and kind of where you stand on it. So if you want to say, if you want to defend the game stores, that's fine. That's your point of view.
Yeah, totally.
Now, the thing I like doing with game shops, now, anything new, I'll generally buy online. Whether it's through, like, CD keys or through Steam or through Amazon or that. yeah. All right. Or Shop 2, or just to vary it up. But one thing I do find about physical shops is pre-owned. Now, I found, especially in the last couple of years, I've found that I've actually got quite a lot of pre-owned games now, just from places like CEX and Game, just because it's just way, way cheaper. And at least they're covered by their own warranty and everything. I'm not going to spend their ridiculous full price on it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these games lose their value very quickly anyway. So as far as that goes, I quite like having a browse through and thinking, you know what? I recognise this. I never got round to playing this. If I hadn't have been here, I wouldn't have even thought about it. So in that respect, it's great to kind of actually physically look at the copies and then decide, I will go for that. And once again, as a monetary thing, it's just a much cheaper way of doing it, because there is no way I'm going to spend 55 quid on launch if in 3 months' time it's going to go down to about 15 quid pre-owned.
It's one of those things too, because I remember that with Mercenaries. Do you remember?
I remember Mercenaries too. That game was fucking tragic.
I mean, I kind of liked it. I mean, it was it was a buggy mess. That's one thing. Like, there was like crates hanging in the sky from nothing and stuff. It was so broken. But I remember trying it out and thinking, okay, this is good. I mean, I'm going to take it back because it's a full price broken game. But then actually seeing it on pre-owned for like £5 and being like, I could actually buy this and give it a go, and I loved it. I ended up like just enjoying the fact that it was just a complete mess, But I would never. It's one of those things where now, once you buy, say, I'm trying to think of a game that's been broken recently. Can you think of a game that's like pretty broken recently, just as a reference?
How recently?
Can we just say? Let's just say the most broken game of all time. Let's just put Right Tail Retribution there, and just say that.
I was gonna go for Ass Creed.
Unity, there you go. That's pretty free.
Yeah.
So say if you bought any of those games now from Game and stuff, you've got literally no way of taking that back. You're stuck with it, and you've got no reason, or kind of like way of going, well, let me off, let me have my money back, because it's still a finished product in a way, and so they're still like sticking you with it. But now it's one of those, and it was that thing where you could take it back but then get it pre-owned. But now it's one of those things where, say, if you buy it off Steam, once you got it, and say you missed is it like 2-day refund? 2-hour refund or whatever.
Ooh.
That means that you're stuck with it forever. And it's the same
which
with
is why
game
everyone
now.
has Bad Rats in their library, because someone went out and bought 10 copies of Bad Rats for 2p a pop and just gifted them to all their friends and was like, haha, now you have Bad Rats in your library.
Hold up. Pause. Put a pin in it for a second, just about the returns thing, because today there was a big change in UK legislation and law. So the right to 30-day refund becomes law as of today.
Oh, sick.
What does that mean?
You get full refund.
Anyone who buys faulty goods, which also comes under the bracket of not fit for purpose.
Oh, that's good.
Is entitled to a full refund up to 30 days after the purchase.
That's pretty sick.
That is.
And you know what? If you go into a game, I bet they will all be completely ignorant to that. They'll be like, oh, we don't know about that.
And another thing with like the return policy in game stores is that you can do something you can never do on a digital market, which is like a trade-in. That you can take in your broken ass game and say, I don't want my money back, but give me another one equal the price, and they will. And that is
or even
to them.
Another thing I've done with game recently, because the good thing is they'll match CEX and add an extra quid. Like if I've got some old games or something that I'm not ever going to play, I'll go and trade them in, and I'll get exchange value, which is a bit more, and then I'll just I'll use it to get like a Steam voucher.
Yeah.
And then chances are I could probably rebuy all those games on Steam, and then more so with that voucher.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess.
And that's what I did with the summer sale, just to restrict my kind of spending. And just like, okay, gonna trade in a load of games. And then I ended up with like 50 quid of Steam vouchers, and then bought 10 times more.
Yeah.
But it still felt cheeky though, because it was that thing of, like I was just trying to say before, is that once you buy a game from a shop now, it feels like you get nothing really back for it. I mean, you may personally think that you do, but like, say if you open the wrapping, that is literally the point of no return. Literally, they have it in their policy where if you open that wrapping, then they just like the return policy is kind of, all the trading, should I say, is just complete tainted. Maybe you get like a quarter back, and then when they put it back onto the pre-owned shelf, they pump that price up, which is just nuts. So it's one of those things where it's like, you may get, say, you take back, no. Let's say that you buy and in reference to Adam recently, Gears of War Ultimate, okay, you then take it back, and so you paid about £30 for it. They'll then say, oh, we can give you around like £10, and then they'll pump it up to £25 when it's on the pre-owned shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Which is
that's
stupid.
business.
It's called a business.
But that's just bollocks. I don't like that. I mean, that means that they should at least
Subway will
put, like,
buy in
maybe-
your delicious sandwich for a ridiculously cheap price and then sell it to you at almost quadruple the price. It's business.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could make a sandwich at home. Let's not all be, you know, thinking that we couldn't all just buy some bread and some ham and... What do you make?
Me? You
Was it
couldn't...
what you do?
What do I make?
From Subway?
I either have bacon and cheese ranch melt or the pastrami melt. I probably could...
Exactly. You could make that
I
at
could.
home, but we're all just lazy assholes, and
for
we'd rather
literally
pay...
a quarter of the price. But the point is, you're paying for the experience
Convenience.
as well, aren't you? And the convenience, yeah.
The convenience. Well, not even that. The experience is the thing that I was going to say, because Subway are terrible at customer
They
service
are.
anyway.
Excuse
But
me, what can I get
new
you?
to the point.
Fucking hell, you could give me a smile, you.
It's not even
arsey
that. They're
bitch.
pretty much, I'm sure, have just come out of prison half the time.
Yeah, they look
They
rough
don't even
as
know what a
fuck.
sandwich is.
That's why I go to Greg's instead.
Oh, you would go.
Ah, good
Greg's.
Greg's, mate.
You would go.
I'm not even gonna give a response to
I'm not
that.
touching that.
I mean, one thing that's really cool anyway on the topic of online game stores, say, is has anyone ever actually heard of this? There's going to be some major plugs for this. It's going to be partial over kind of excited advertising. Has anyone heard of CD keys?
I've heard of CD keys. That's where I get my Xbox Live subscription.
That's why I'm talking about it. But the thing
Disclaimer: we are not sponsored
By
or
CD
monetized
keys.
by CD
This is
keys
just an
in
example.
any way.
This is just an example, is that every single game I bought from there has been so cheap. And obviously that's not good for devs, possibly, but they must get, like, so many keys. But it's like, The Witcher, I think I bought, like, maybe 3 months before it for, like, £15
Well,
on
just-
PC.
Mad Max.
Mad Max plus the
Yeah,
DLC.
£13.
No, Mad Max plus the DLC right now on CD keys is $9.90.
That is
From
nuts!
29.
That's nuts!
It was £8 2 days ago.
There you go.
Oh! It's even
Arkham
better.
Knight
And then-
and all the DLC is £11. I mean, it's just like, not that you don't want to buy that steaming pile of horse shit, but you know.
But it's still that really cool thing where online does have that kind of competitiveness
Yeah.
about them. So, like, you could... I mean, Shop 2 used to be so good, but now I feel like they've kind of gone that way of game in a way where it's like, it feels like the prices are going up a bit too much.
Yes, some of this stuff, yeah, but they're more leaning towards the finance side of things
Well,
rather
you know,
than.
And
like,
they do
you know,
like
how you had...
branded stuff real cheap. They do like a razor range of accessories for like 40
But-
quid. You're looking at like.
But you know how
80.
he had, like, Play.com, and then it turned into Raikou or whatever?
Yeah, well,
And,
there was a reason why Play.com was so cheap, is because they weren't paying their taxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were based on it was either Guernsey or Jersey or somewhere, and they were in this massive tax loophole. And then
Trust Tom to read The Guardian for us.
and then they yeah. Thanks.
Did you
This
read
was
it while you
years
were having
ago.
tea and bickies?
And sucking on your
Yeah.
pipe.
Just sitting there like with your dressing gown just open, with your grotty wang hanging out, just like today's going to be a good day.
Just going, well, seems Play.com are pretty fucked at the moment.
I must
Yeah, so
bring it
after I
up
read
on
that,
the podcast.
Yeah, so after I read that, I'm like, I might microwave a bagel and have sex with it.
No, you're not. You're like, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
sort
so-
out the bins.
But I mean, that's how I feel with, say, like, Shop 2 and stuff, is that with these kind of they feel like premium online shops. I don't know if you kind of get that feeling when you're on them now, is that it's kind of like going to a HMV online. You know, it's kind of like a really nicely done site. It's, you know, it's got that feeling of high maintenance in a way. But then it kind of feels like you're paying because of that. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh my god, Shop 2's current layout just looks angry. There's
Oh,
so
yeah,
much
it's horrible.
red.
So, yeah, it's trying to attack you. It's giving you pink eye for some reason. But then, like, say if you do go to, like, say CD keys and stuff, even though it's like so low, and do you think that at one point though that CD keys may actually become like what Shop 2 is now?
No.
Do you not think so?
No, they're running a completely separate system now. Shop 2 are going from the wholesaler, so they're getting stuff in maybe directly or slightly indirectly physical products from the actual companies themselves. CD keys works on a completely different basis, based on some of it's from the actual developers, some of it's from the publishers, a lot of it's actually from online marketplace stuff. So a lot of it's actually people who are buying and selling to them directly. So they're buying a bunch of pre-orders or acquiring them from somewhere and then selling them to them, to which they then sell on to us. So that way they make a huge profit, because they're digital keys. They're not having to do all the shipping costs and things like that for it. It's all email based. No warehouse costs, nothing like that. So very different business. CD keys will never become what Shop 2 is. It's a separate, completely different kettle of fish.
But it's kind of good in that aspect, because if you do look on, say, that site and you want to get, say, like a PS4 game, like I think The Last of Us at the moment is
a tenner. Yeah.
It's like a tenner. The Last of Us on PlayStation 4, which is really good. It's a good game. Go play it. Buy it. It's one of those really awesome things where generally if you go on, say, the PlayStation Store, all those games stay full price forever. But now you do kind of have these, like, online-only places which will just do it for such an amazing discount for a code.
At least PSN and the Xbox stores seem to have sales every so often now.
Yeah, there is
which
that.
is something that they weren't doing much the previous generation. And in fact, actually, on my Xbox One, most of the games are all digital now anyway. It's just when they come out cheap, I'm like, well, why not? It's there. I can download it. Nice and simple, done. It's a lot of the reason that everything's dying out is its convenience, especially as we're saying with all the digital stuff now. And you're finding, especially, well, PC games especially, when was the last time you bought a physical PC game?
Oh, like last year.
My PC,
and there was this whole worry.
Have a disk drive.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, wait,
There's not a disk drive. There's not.
Even I have one just in case I need to reinstall Windows.
So
I
literally put WildStar back on. Like,
I have
2
an
days
external
ago.
one that I can plug in, but I never get it out of the cupboard.
Fair enough.
Okay, you got your external.
Well,
one,
I built it my PC myself, and I'm not spending extra money. I know it's like 20 quid on something I'm never gonna use.
Because you used that on like 5 subways.
Dude,
jeez.
Why is everything in your price range based only on the monetary value of freaking sandwiches?
Because sandwiches are awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? I'm just picturing Josh as sat there, like, you know that scene in Wayne's World? It was like, we're not a corporate sellouts, and they're there wearing like Adidas stuff. He's there in like a puffer jacket with Subway all over it.
I'm basically Ben Stiller from Dodgeball, just on a giant couch, just rubbing like Strami on my balls.
Oh God, why?
There we go.
That's horrendous. Why?
That's what he does, though. But anyway, what does he sell? He goes, Michelle, whatever, get out.
I told you not to distract me in my private reflection period.
But yeah, talk about like the digital stuff. Oh my God. Talk about all the digital stuff and the downloads and everything, and the fact that it is probably why a lot of the high street's dying down.
Yeah.
Now, the Xbox One, remember when it came out and like it's going to be always online and we're going to use lots of cloud stuff and that, and everyone's like, oh no.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of turned the other way around. Everyone's like, well, most of the games we play are always online. Yeah. And everything's going for that digital thing. I honestly, when they said it originally, I'm probably one of the few people who didn't have a problem with that. It's not due to blind allegiance. I'm just thinking, I'm always online. Everything I want to do on the console is online. I want to interact with people. I want to do other things on it.
I think it was more the privacy thing, though, wasn't it? That was the issue.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No. Oh, I think it was the pre-owned thing was the issue.
You mean with cameras? You saying about?
Oh no one. I mean, that was a general thing. I mean, Samsung TVs have had that thing recently with voice recognition and stuff, and them gathering data. Everyone's collecting everything on everyone. Let's just deal with it. That's the 21st century. They know what I had for breakfast. They know what I've been fapping to. I don't care. Let them watch. it's
I mean, so something on the topic though of like, say, an online shop now, say with like PlayStation Network and Xbox is. Originally, they were so not trying to be competitive with stores, but now you can kind of feel that they're trying just a little bit to sneak in. It's just like a little speck, of tease with these different discounts and PlayStation Plus and Xbox Gold and everything. And so it's kind of cool because I do like the idea of buying from an actual console brand. It's that idea of like, say, when you buy from Steam. It feels like it just feels good, because you can kind of trust them in a way. Don't know if you ever feel that, but like, say if you buy a code from some other website.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this might be stolen and I might get my game taken off. Because there was that whole
like
malarkey with
half
G2A and Kinguin, wasn't there?
I was about to say, most of the ones listed on, was it Allkey Shop? Or, which is the one that lists like all the different ones, G2A and Game Olds, Games Deal, all these odd ones that no one's heard of, and you just kind of take a risk with it. Mm-hmm. Whereas at least CD Keys, I know, is verified.
Which game? I'm trying to find. That was it. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 4, Assassin's Creed Unity, Watch Dogs, and The Crew. If anyone bought their game from G2A or Kinguin, Ubisoft deactivated their game. And basically said you can't use it anymore because basically these keys aren't licensed. So there's always that, risk.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one thing that was quite cool, I mean, this is completely partial to that, was game trading. Like, I don't remember that on Steam, where, like, basically you could literally buy the game, not activate it, but then trade it. I mean, I used to do that so much on Steam before they deactivated it, which was a really cool thing.
I'm sure they brought it back now.
Did they?
Or at least a similar. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe not purchase. Oh, no. Purchasing directly, no, but you can put in a code for a game, and then you can choose whether to have it in your inventory or whether to actually have it on your account.
It was one of those cool things at the same time with that kind of code reseller thing where you could then use Steam as like a community store as well, which I kind of liked. So things like, I mean, just like loads of really old games that maybe I missed out on in like the Christmas sale or something. All these people from like different countries would have bought them at such stupidly low prices from their country's exchange rate and would be selling it for like £2 when it's gone back up to say like 30 or something. And they'd have them in bulk. But now I'm sure you can't do that now.
Probably not to that extent.
No.
I mean, these days the equivalent is going onto one of those, we're not quite sure if it's dodgy sites, buying the code and then having some Filipino guy message you going, oh, here's your code. Like, it's like buying gold in an MMO.
Yeah.
It's that kind of weird experience.
But then there was other things as well too with, say, if you got on PlayStation a game, you could do game sharing on that, where you could, say, share your account onto multiple things. I think it's how that worked. And then basically other people could use those games for free. But then I think they kind of realize this is the thing, because it seems that they have these good ideas, but then the developers, the publishers, kind of back out of it, like with PlayStation 4.
Good intentions.
Yeah, it's like they end up realizing, going, oh, wait a minute, maybe this isn't a good idea because we're losing money. But at the same time, it's kind of like a really good incentive, I think. So it's like, say if you've got like a group of friends, and you go, oh, we could all put our money together, buy the game on one account, then share all our accounts, and share one account, all of our PlayStations, and have the game together. Which was really good. But you can't do that now. You can only have it on like one account now. Which is kind of that thing where now, when I'm with my friends and they're all like, oh, we could so get this game together, we don't do that. It feels like there's that loss of incentive again.
I presume when you're saying it like that, you're talking about people who you live with, not just in general mates, because that doesn't work.
Friends, one thing that me and my uni friends did was we shared our PlayStation accounts. From what I remember, this was years ago.
This was when you're in the same environment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Not like the old Simpsons Radioactive Man issue #1 thing. It doesn't work because people will want to use it at different times or the same times,
but it doesn't work like that anymore though, because once you put that account onto your PlayStation, you could then still use your other account, with all that content. So it wasn't like you having to log on to your friend's account just to use everything.
I don't choose to understand the PlayStation sharing thing. It's not something I've had to use. It's not something I've had to go near.
Well, it was
and it's
cool.
not something that I don't think it's ever been properly explained.
That's basically what it was. But it was one of those things, again, where it had that kind of bonus to say buying online. Because it meant like, oh, you could buy this off the PlayStation Store, but then share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Well, the first and
feeling
last
of
time,
community.
I heard that was with Far Cry 4. And they're like, oh yeah, you could share it with your friends. And,
that was
I
bullshit.
was like, what? I don't understand.
No,
Why?
it wasn't. It was complete bollocks. Basically, all you did was you got like a key, and they could play it for an hour.
What the hell?
But then they realized, now this is a really cool thing though, is that it's nothing to do with like the PlayStation Store and how you buy things and stuff, but they have something on PlayStation 4 now called SharePlay. I don't know if you've heard of this.
No.
No?
Cricket.
Right, SharePlay is really cool. Right, so Tom's heard of it. Right, basically, SharePlay is a really, really awesome feature where basically, if you have a PlayStation 4 and your friend has a PlayStation 4 but doesn't have the game that you purchased, you can activate SharePlay and they can play the game via streaming off your console onto their console at home.
How does that, like... How does the quality carry across? Like, is it...
It's completely based. Yeah, it's completely based off your internet connection.
Right,
so like,
it's
one
like
thing...
that stupid OnLive thing that came out quite a while ago.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, OnLive worked
OnLive
pretty
was
well,
good,
to
but
be
they had
honest.
no games.
That was until it got to the point where you could actually use your Steam library. So most of the stuff in your Steam library you could just stream over the internet to it, and that actually worked really well for the most part. And
Isn't that what Steam's doing now?
then they got bought out by Sony, and it's there. So it's OnLive's tech, which is going into the PlayStation Now, PlayStation
I thought it was
streaming, whatever
Gaikai.
it is.
Isn't it Gaikai?
What?
Gaikai are the company that they bought out.
I have no idea. I know it's to do with OnLive.
Yeah.
So that might be the parent
like
company, but they're using their like resources and stuff and their engine for the PlayStation stuff, and it actually worked really well. So I think that could work really well for Sony.
Yeah, I mean, as I was going to say, I mean, it's completely internet-based off, like, your friend on SharePlay, too. So, like, you both have to have, I think, like, 5 meg internet for it to work.
Right.
And it's really good quality. Like, I was going to say is, shameless plugging here, I actually have a series on my channel, Proxy Playthroughs, where basically it's called the Subscriber SharePlay Challenge, where basically I pick a game, I then challenge my subscribers to play, but they get to do it for free. And I get to record them do it, because it's the exact same quality on your own screen.
Right.
Do you think that's badass?
I think it's alright. I mean...
I think it's a really, really cool idea. Especially for when it's like, if you're buying an online game, wanting to share it again with your friends. It's not the same as like, you can let them have it, and then they can just play it whenever they like. But it's still one of those things where you could buy that game, and then your friend could still give it a go for as long as they like, without having to pay for it. You know? I like it. I think it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like, I could do that more instead of having to go to the game shop and then get screwed over with my refunds. So it's like, say, if you wanted to get the Order 1886, but you didn't want to pay for it because you didn't trust the shit out of that game.
And you didn't want to pay for
go,
a demo.
Yeah, you could go, hey, Adam's got that game. I could just stream it off his PlayStation because he bought it off the PlayStation
You would
Store.
never have that, though, because Adam neither wants to earn the Order 1886 or a PlayStation.
You don't have to put your personal opinion on the Order 1886.
There's only I think there's not many console games that I've wanted to actually return and get a full refund for. But talking about the Order, the Xbox equivalent being Rise Son of Rome.
Oh, don't.
Honestly, I played that for about an hour and just like, I'm not enjoying this.
Have you played the Steam version?
I'd say that and the Lost game.
Oh god, why would you even try that?
I liked the series at the time. I thought, you know what? There's only
It's
a
a
fiver.
Merc game.
It's an easy 1000G.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
it's the game of
I
Scott.
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, hour and 10 minutes it took to complete the game with 1000G.
Did I eat all my smites? I'm just throwing smites everywhere. I'm
Wow.
You should be.
Okay,
I think
well-
I think that's an apt time to put this to bed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
High
switch
street
subject.
stores.
We're gonna change
They're in
course.
the
Perfect
shitter.
time as well, actually, because it's like 45 minutes in. The next almighty topic, which Tom is now bringing to the table, is franchise. This is actually something that I'm quite interested. I mean, love the Death of the High Street Shop. Some really good topics, basically what I'm saying here. And another really awesome one to add onto this cake of discussion. But franchises that you'd like to see rebooted. Come on, Tom. What's the first?
Do you want me to use the one I stole from you?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
I didn't steal it
So
from you.
we'll go on to that one in a minute, because I think that's one that we all want at the end of the day, and it was going to be my first decision on here. Now, there's a lot of franchises that are dead in the water or have such a good premise and things that could do with expanding or rebooting or whatever. One of the first ones that I want to go into is it was a first-person shooter. Came out on the PS2, PC, and I believe GameCube and original Xbox, which was 13.
Oh, was that the comic book one?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Where it was like all in the yeah. It was the comic
so
book
it was
style, wasn't it?
For those who don't know, it's a cel-shaded first-person shooter, and it's done in the comic book style. So if someone's walking around, there will be actual physical speech coming off, like making the actual noises as you would in
like
the comic.
Adam West style.
And I always remember there's like a scene where you go onto like a dock. You get caught in like a dock, and you throw a knife at this dude's head, and it shows you like 3 panels of the knife slowly getting closer, and then just piercing wherever you hit it. Brilliant.
And it's all happening pretty much in real time.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
knife, the position of the knife changes on the comic panels depending on where it hits, and obviously his position in the background around him changes. Like, that's some pretty amazing technology for a PlayStation 2.
It's one of those kind of games that is just, I think, it's actually fallen under a lot of people's radars, and it's not one that people actually actively think about. But I had such a blast playing that game. It was very different. In fact, the whole vibe of it was like the classic, almost like Sean Connery, Roger Moore style James Bond films mixed in with a bit of like The Saint and those kind of old spy things, but with that comic book tone. Along with that as well, it was just, the story was great, the action, the actual mechanics of it was great. It's just a shame, because I remember it was around the time when I was one of probably the few people who actually had the PS2 online, and there were a few games I was playing a lot of the time, so like SOCOM US Navy SEALs and stuff like that, which was great. No online presence. There were I once found a match with 2 people in, and that was it. Never ever again on there.
Which is a shame.
The multiplayer was good. I just didn't get to test it out enough on there.
And it did cell shading better than some games now. Like, cell shading,
I think it did it better than Borderlands.
Yeah, some people think cell shading is like a cop out and an easy graphical decision. It's actually not that easy to do, but 13 did it extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you take that into the future, though? Say if they actually did reboot it and thought, we'll actually give it an actual ending.
Follow the theme it was going. It was perfectly... It was going in a perfect direction as it was.
Yeah,
it just kind of stopped.
I'd just do it on... I'd do it on a different engine. Now, I'd probably take it and I'd probably... based on the actual thing itself... I mean, even on something like the Source engine, either Source or the Cry engine
I was
would be
say
perfect for it. Especially, I suppose, if you're looking at CryEngine these days, you're looking at the more kind of physics and particle light effects, which would work really, really well. The one thing you probably wouldn't need much of, though, is bloom.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of games that are oversaturated and too much bloom and everything, but I think that the CryEngine's that adaptable, and especially now it's in open source and that, it'd be great to see it realised with... obviously newer resolution, upscaled, everything's going to look a lot sharper. Maybe, obviously, throwing a different multiplayer mode on that's actually going to entice people. But then again, how do you take that first-person shooter and go, right, we want you to play this. What's going to drag you away from everything else? And I don't think they would be able to do it. I don't think just being a cel-shaded shooter with some sound effects is going to help, because at the end of the day, you can do that in Team Fortress.
Yeah, back then it was really exciting, but that is a concept that if you rebooted now, you'd be dropping yourself into a really oversaturated market.
I say make it a nice, chunky single-player campaign. Give it to
Platinum Games. Just give everything to Platinum Games.
No. Which development team? Not. It's under Bethesda, but which development team did the latest Wolfenstein?
Oh,
Machine Games.
Machine Games. Give give 13 to Machine Games.
They will make
a
it
nice,
good.
juicy single-player campaign. Don't really care about the multiplayer. It's not really going to make a difference on it. And I think that game would be absolutely fantastic. In fact, maybe put a bit more humour into it, a bit more tongue-in-cheek, so more of that Roger Moore style as opposed to the Sean Connery stuff. Because it was 13, even though it was comic booky, it did take itself a little too serious.
Yep.
And it could have lightened up just a little. But for me, I think that's just one of the games I would love to see a new iteration of.
You could really exaggerate it too, like, say, make it like how comic books can be completely outlandish with their, like, animation and, like, action as well. Because it was quite grounded. Even though it was a cel-shaded game that felt like it was in, like, a comic book world, you could like, Archer that crap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I can tell you, actually, just a side note, one studio I don't want to give it to is Telltale.
Oh, no, because they will just... The
episodic
and the point of the game was the actual combat in it and the shooting and apparently the game was actually reimagined.
Really?
In
you on Google again?
I'm always on Google. I like to know these things so we can bring them to the discussion. But the worst way possible. 13 The Lost Identity was released in 2011 and it's a fucking point-and-click game.
Oh my god. So exactly what I was saying I didn't want.
Yep, it's already been done, so don't worry, Telltales.
Let me guess, was it a phone game? Because I didn't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I think so. Not to mention, the game looks nothing like the graphic style of the old game at all. It's not cel-shaded at all. It's just, like, still action shots of, like, photos of places, you know. That's depressing and disappointing.
That really sucks. In which case, it needs a reboot more than anything else.
Yeah, to save it from that horror.
Absolutely.
What about you, Adam?
No, you go next, because I'm saving the one that we all have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see how
it is. I mean, we can have more than one, because I've got a couple in mind.
We'll go around. We'll go around in a circle, basically. It's kind of like a campfire. Who brought the schmellows?
You what?
The schmellows, marshmallows, I think, is what he was going for with that one.
Yeah, the schmellows.
I don't know, Tom.
I don't know. Let's just leave him to it. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, I love the pink schmellows.
I don't know what. Stop.
That's not a game.
I'm saying that when you said we're going around in a circle, like a campfire.
We got the joke. It just wasn't funny. Move on.
I didn't say it was funny. I was just adding emphasis. My game would be. My game would probably. It's kind of like a cop out at the moment. Cause I don't know which one to actually mention first, but I'm gonna do it. Tenchu.
Oh, hold up. Is your other one similar, like, region that it's from?
Kind of, but not the same genre.
Interesting.
Well, there was
same era, but
I'll get onto that. I'll get onto that in a minute. But just a quick passing thing. Does your second one have anything to do with Jean Reno?
No.
Okay, never mind. Carry on.
There was Tenchu Z, but that was terrible.
Oh,
I thought it was alright.
There's zombie tie-ins for everything.
That did have any zombies in it.
Didn't it?
No, the Z for once doesn't actually mean zombies. It's just they wanted something after Tenchu.
What?
It was.
What a twist!
What a twist! It was literally a. What would you even class it? It was kind of like a multiplayer version. So basically, you made your own character instead of playing as Ricky Maru or I can't remember what the other character was called, Asari or something.
Yeah.
Ikari. I don't know. Anyway, you had the female and the male character, but you ended up having to make your own, and you can't. It was just kind of like a really boring game where that's where they stumbled. They didn't continue the series.
Tenchu. Stealth Assassins or whatever it was, and Tenchu 2, whatever the stupid.
They were
awesome. And then Tenchu Z came out, and I was like, "Oh my god, Tenchu's back!" And then I played it, and I was like,
"You even had
what?
Wrath of Heaven and stuff, which were like really under the radar, but they still kept that kind of."
To be fair to you, they quite steadily released, didn't they? To be fair, because then Shadow Assassins came out a little bit after Tenchu Z, but that was for the Wii, and no one wants that shit.
Yeah.
And then there was Time of the Assassins or something like that.
So
that was
right,
the
that's when it just
PSP
kind of-
version. Like,
Yeah, I didn't play any of those. I kind of stopped at the PlayStation 2 and played the Z game on
Yeah, you're
Xbox
not missing
360,
out.
and that was kind of it for me. But I mean, I so love that game. It's one of those things as well where we don't have any proper ninja games. Can you think of any kind of good...
Ninja Gaiden, but it's not.
That's not a
It's not
ninja game,
good.
though. You play as a ninja character,
But he's badass
it's...
and gets like in the thick of it and doesn't actually act like a ninja, does he? Really?
Yeah! You're not a shinobi. In
Oh, there you
Tenchu
go.
did.
There you go. Shinobi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
come
there
on.
you go.
But I'm talking anything that's on the
that
Mega
was
Drive.
hardcore, though.
Nothing beyond the Mega Drive.
Oh, are we talking the first one?
I'm talking like first, second, third. What was the second one?
They were like
Revenge
the
of Shinobi.
80s, Tom.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
I was born in the 80s, but I wasn't playing games in the 80s.
Wasn't there one of the Shinobis when you ended up fighting Batman?
Oh yeah! Oh my
I'm
goodness.
Sure,
Flashback.
yeah.
But-
It was in Revenge of Shinobi.
Sorry, Shinobi versus Spider-Man and Batman. He was there too.
Oh my
He was
god.
there too, just on the sidelines.
So really, 1990 that came out.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
I was
dear.
like 2 years old.
Oh my. That was like one of the first games I played as well.
Oh no. That's actually really good.
Everyone
It's good that I've
goes
kind of
down-
brought up a game where that's one of the first games
Everyone
you
goes down the route of like you said, no one treats ninjas how I feel they should be treated. Ninja Gaiden goes that full balls to the wall. There was that Ninja Blade game which came out, which went really like Metal Gear Rising with it, and it's like,
Oh, Metal Gear Rising, great ninja game.
yeah, but it's
What?
No,
not.
it wasn't.
It's not like how we want ninjas to be, though.
No, it's not. You literally want to play, let's say, I mean, we're going off topic with, like, Tenchu now, but, like, Grey Fox in, like, Metal Gear Solid 1, you know, like, he was ninja. He'd, like, just appear at the perfect time. He would just completely destroy everyone without knowing, and but you don't get that. You don't get that in anything like that these days. Because there's no ninja games.
I tell you what, whilst we are on the subject, I'm just going to chime in with the one that I thought you were going to do next, which is another series that I think could do with a new iteration.
You're stealing my spotlight, brah.
I'll hand it over to you if I just say Onimusha.
Oh, no, he did it. He did it. He said Onimusha. Oh, such a good game until Jean Reno came
Whoa,
along.
whoa, whoa!
Oh
You
God,
can't
no!
say
What
that
have we
about
started?
Jean Reno.
Why have you done this? Now we're going off topic and I want to talk about Onimusha now.
That's fine, we could go back to Tenchu.
You've opened a can of worms.
I've opened a can of Reno.
Oh!
That was a terrible pun, it doesn't even work.
Oh my goodness. But, I mean, how you would actually improve Tenchu, because one of the things that was really holding it back was the tankish controls. That was the one thing I hated so much about it, was that you'd have to stand still and then move like an alarm clock and just go like, right, going round, turntable style, just to take out the next person. And they never fixed that.
Have you tried giving it to Platinum?
Yeah, Platinum could make a good ninja game.
Oh, I bet. I mean, it's a given.
Jesus.
But I mean,
I think
what else could you do?
We-
I mean, with Tenchu, I mean, I don't want to. This is the thing, because if they ever rebooted Tenchu, I can see them I just don't want them to do it, but they'll bring it into the modern day, and I don't want them. I want it to stay classic.
No, what they do is give
you
it
know?
to John Renner, because you did so well with Onimusha 3. Why don't you just take Tenchu as well? Here's something else to piss all over.
Let's
Why
put French
not?
people into it.
Let's bring him into the modern day and throw Jean Reno into it. I have no problem with that.
You know what was weird as well? Was that even though Jean Reno was in it, why did he look like some kind of weird cosplayer while everybody else was like normal? So he was like this crazy detective, but he had like the most exaggerated like character design ever. Made no sense. Why are we talking about Onimusha?
Because
Why
it's
not?
a ninja game.
I can't believe you opened up a can of Reno. God damn.
Don't
Yeah.
open up a can of Renner. He's also French.
Cast tile.
He was
Reno.
the king. Oh dear, oh dear.
Can't believe he's in
Yeah.
it. That's like, who's the guy that was in Doom? John Romero.
Wait, what?
What?
The you get Romero's head, can't you? I'm just saying, I can't believe he was in the game.
Oh,
But you
right,
can,
yeah, he did
like
cameo.
it reminded me of the fact that you can find Romero's head in Doom. I don't know why that's relevant.
But that was way different though, because you control John Reno
yeah, I know
in
that.
Onimusha.
But the point is,
It's not
don't
like John Reno
stick
was
your
sat in a back
face-
room with a cigarette waiting for you.
I wish
to
he
be
was.
fair,
It's like,
I'd
you
never.
can
What
find-
took you so long?
You can find John Carmack's head in Quake 3 and
All right.
Serious Sam.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
Oh,
the
that's
thing.
awesome.
the developers in Serious Sam.
I'm not
were in
sure I'm
Serious
okay
Sam.
with people sticking their faces, heads, and bodies in my games, especially if the Jean Reno. He can stay the fuck out.
I like how this has gone from Tenchu to John Reno.
Because he's a
Even-
dick. He ruined Onimusha.
Well, no, it wasn't even his fault. It was the game after that. It was Onimusha 4.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Onimusha 3 is fine. It's absolutely fine. It could only be made better if Jean Reno came out at the beginning and said, "Hi, I'm Jean Reno. Welcome to my game."
Is
Oh
that-
wait, no, that's
You,
David
hey,
Cage.
you
I'm
went,
David
hey,
Cage."
I'm John Reno. You may remember me from awesome blockbuster films like Godzilla.
What did
Oh,
what game
no.
did David Cage do that on? Was it Indigo Prophecy
Yeah, it was, or as we
or was
call
it
it,
Fahrenheit?
it's the same game.
Yeah, but we call it Fahrenheit. 'Cause
It's called Fahrenheit here, and it's
Indigo
called
Prophecy.
Indigo Prophecy in the US.
I liked to
Yeah.
just apart. Hi, I'm David Cage. Welcome to my game.
Oh.
No, David. What you thinking about, David? I don't know, just like feelings and stuff.
I think the only person like that I'd be happy to have in games in general is Sweary.
Who?
Who?
Guy who did Deadly Premonition and D4. Like, if he put himself
Who?
into games, I'd be fine with it.
Who?
Never mind, back to Tenchu, eh? Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
No, you've ruined that now. We're going to Adam. I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
ruined my
I'm
segment.
just I'm just completely off the topic of ninjas. Time splitters. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Time Splitters.
What else could you say? Time Splitters was just amazing.
Time
and,
Splitters 1 was amazing. Time Splitters 2 was fucking amazing, and Time
Oh,
Splitters
Time
Future
Splitters 2,
Project was just as amazing. They're one company that have made 3 titles which are all amazing.
And then Haze came out.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Right, don't
Not quite sure what happened there.
don't class.
Hey, I'm sorry, you brought Onimusha up. I'm gonna
They
ruin
were going
yours.
to bring
I'm
out
gonna be
Time
like,
Splitters 4,
oh,
weren't they?
Haze is so good.
Crytek were going to do it.
All that honey.
Well, it's the thing that Free Radical then became Crytek UK eventually. So
Yeah.
Crytek actually owned the rights to Time Splitters.
Which is why they
Um,
should have done it.
well,
But they're just sitting on it. I mean, Crytek aren't exactly doing the best
there is
out
that
of people.
there is that group of guys that are actually trying to remake Time Splitters 1.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really slowly. But it's not really
I'd
working out.
rather have a remake for Time Splitters 2.
Yeah, me too.
Oh
Time
yeah, I
Splitters
mean,
2 was
do you
immense.
remember? Wasn't it the waterfall map? We had basically 2 bunkers on each side. You had the waterfall in the middle, and just Gatling guns. That was so good. That was like the map to play
I think
on.
that was in number 3.
I always remember
the
the Time
map.
Splitters. Time Splitters 2, the story, the best mission by far was the Wild West mission.
That was pretty good.
Where you were walking around with like barrels of gunpowder, you could run with dual revolvers and
yeah.
stuff. It was so cool.
I really liked the snow one at the start. That was really good too.
I still remember that music from the intro. It was that. Well, the music in Time Splitters is one of its best features
Oh,
as
the
well as the
Notre
actual
Dame
mechanics.
level where you give the hunchback like a shotgun.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then you fight that
Yes.
giant. Oh my god, Time Splitters 2. It's so. Everything about it is just epic on every proportion.
Yeah.
Give that to Machine Games.
Give it to Platinum Games.
No, I think Machine Games would totally fucking take that shit because it's that arcadey shooter thing, isn't it? Granted,
I
they made
think-
Wolfenstein a little bit more gritty, but I don't know.
Give it to
Wolfenstein was so good.
give it to Valve.
Valve would probably do a
It-
pretty good job, yeah.
it would
And when was
work-
the last
it-
time Valve did anything?
Yeah, apart from that
Apart from
VR.
Count money.
Yeah, they need to get off the fat asses and work. Come on, Gaben. Do something.
Well, have you not seen their cafeteria though? Who would want to leave
Yeah,
that
to be
cafeteria?
fair, but yeah, Time
Yeah.
Splitters all over it.
But how would you improve it? How would you bring this forward?
Oh, I know how I'd improve it. I'd get rid of any short characters. You can all sod off with your odd job and knick-knack style. It was the whoever played as the monkey or Robo-Fish.
It's the
every
hardest
time.
thing
They're just
ever.
bastards anyway, because it's kind of like playing Yoda in Soul Calibur. Just cheating.
It was
It's just
every time.
so funny. I
To be
loved
fair-
Robo-Fish.
Most of the time we played the game, we stuck it on double sawn-off shotguns with unlimited ammo,
Yeah.
and we just went mad. That's the best way to play it.
Oh, no. It was dual P90s. That was the way that you played it.
See, Time Splitters is one that you need. It's tricky to like improve upon because I couldn't bring myself to say, improve the graphics, because the
You know what I would
graphics
do?
are so beautiful in their own way.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. But I mean, like, one thing which I really liked was that if you played on a higher difficulty, wasn't it that the gameplay actually expanded? The levels had more to them the
Yeah.
higher you went.
Which
Yeah,
is
so the actual
the-
campaign levels went on further.
Which nowadays is just so good compared to which is basically the cop-out strategy for increased difficulty is player has less health, enemies have more health. Or player deals less damage, enemies are more accurate. Something like
That's-
that. It's such a cop-out.
The Destiny way.
That's the Gears of War style.
Yeah, it's such a cop-out.
that.
Whereas Time Splitters was like, okay, everything else is going to kind of be the same, but you've just got to last longer. You've got more shit to do. And it's like, it's such a good way of improving difficulty, and it's so ingenious.
I mean, I remember, wasn't it like if you played on easy on the dam level, you had to you literally just left under the dam. You never got to see the above part of
Yeah,
it.
it's
But then if you played on like ultra hard, you had to go on top of the dam,
and then
fight
you,
a helicopter.
Yeah, that's right. You had to go on the gun emplacement and shoot the helicopter down.
So good. What a good idea. You could so do. I mean, you'd just make that bigger. Just take it even further. Just do more.
In fact, it actually had stealth sections as well in that. You remember you had to like shoot out the cameras and everything, and try and use your silenced pistol to try not set
Yeah.
off the alarm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
You know what-
and then you'd all suddenly stop because you'd walk into that one warehouse to begin with before you went underground, go to the shelf, pick up Anaconda, and then start playing that.
Literally,
man.
like that alarm
Yeah. Oh god.
was the worst thing ever. You're like, okay, shit's ramping up, shit's ramping up. And there was just
You know what would have been also really badass? Now, this is the thing. This is going to be like a massive game design session, but seeing as it's time splitters, you could so do a thing where little things that you do in each level could somehow maybe branch out into others. So you could, like, say if you, on the Wild West segment, you could, like, pick to kill a certain character, and then it could affect the later story missions in some way, and it would give you even more incentive to go back and try it a different way. Thus, the reason of going back in time.
And then they all turn out to be Wendigos.
Because-
Sorry, I'm bored of this choice bollocks. I really am.
It'd be good for time splitters though, because it's about time.
To be fair to you, Time Splitters had like kind of. It was linear, but it had quite a lot of options for each level.
Yeah.
I think that is one thing that made it really good. It was like there was a level where you were in like a metropolis or something, and there's like a subway or like a cable car ride, and you've got to tail this woman into this underground base or whatever. And when you get there, there's like a woman with Wolverine claws guarding the door, and she goes invisible, and you've got to kill her before she gets out. There's strategies of like smashing the windows of the shops to get the guns early, or tailing her right at the bottom and then finding guns in the base. Or my strategy, the cope strategy of literally killing the woman with Wolverine claws, standing a player in the doorway, and then the other player just runs through the level, sets off the trigger for the main woman to run away and go invisible. And then the other player's like, okay, she's here because she's running into me. I can see her. She's trying to shove me out of the way because I'm just blocking the only doorway. And then you just come back with the only gun in the game, and you're just like, dead.
Actually, one of the things like that, I found when I was playing Dishonored, a lot of the early stuff actually reminded me a lot of Time Splitters.
Because, again, that is linear. You've got one target to kill, but there are so many ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's down to the art design as
Yeah.
well. It's actually the character design very, very similar. Same thing with Bioshock.
Yeah, it's that kind of ridiculously like skinny waist and
Yeah.
like the
And big
square
trousers.
head. Yeah, the big trousers and stuff like that is.
And the little hands that has like a finger sticking out, but the rest of the fingers are just a chunk.
Yeah. It's really,
Oh.
really cartoony and like
good. I actually remember thinking the animation was really good too. Like, again, with the dam levels, that bit where they're talking, it's all about the zombies or whatever. And it's like, oh, you're scaring me, even I don't know why we're French.
Yeah.
We were actually French in that bit. But it was like, the facial animation was actually really good. It was like really top notch, and I was really surprised for a PlayStation 2 game back in the day to actually have this. Like, it actually had the cheekbones. You never had that in games
And
on PlayStation 2.
Most importantly, it's just ridiculously fun. It is just for what it is. You can just go in and play Time Splitters online on a map.
Oh, for God's sake, bloody chair.
Just literally slaughtering one another with dual-barreled shotguns and stuff, and it's just like.
It's the combination of just perfection all
There's
over.
so
and
much,
it
and
can't go
it's
wrong.
so sad that Crytek are just sitting on it and not doing anything about it.
It's been lazy assholes with their engine. But I mean, at the same time, as talking about these things, we do need to move on to the next one. I mean, Tom, do you want to begin with your second and last game franchise to be rebooted?
Yes, I'm torn between two.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, I know. Well, one of them is well, you know what my favorite game is.
No.
Kirby?
No. Screw Kirby. No offense to anyone who likes
Pitfall?
Kirby. No.
Tetris?
Now,
Actual chess?
I would say
My
Future
girlfriend
Cop
is an
LA.
alpaca.
Yes, my girlfriend is an alpaca. Yeah. Future Cop
Future Cop
LAPD.
LA,
oh!
It's now.
Yes!
I would
Love it.
say that, but I like how it is and how it stands alone, and I don't actually think that it would work in a modern day. So I'm not going to opt for that as an actual remake. I'd rather see
too
it.
ahead of its time.
G-Police.
It really was. Now, if
Oh,
I'm
G-Police!
G-Police also, could do with one. But for me, as far as needs a reboot, and the last one was only 7 years ago, Turok.
Oh, for God's sake! I don't.
I didn't mind the last one though.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was.
It wasn't.
It was. That's the thing. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It was meh. And the actual engine and the mechanics were really ropey on it, which is really strange because it was on the Unreal Engine, which is actually a good engine.
Are you talking like Turok Evolution style of like gameplay? You want that rebooting, or do you mean the older one, like the what is it, Dinosaur Hunter or some shit?
No, probably similar to Evolution. rather than the one that we got in 2007, 2008, was it?
The one we got in 2008 was the newest one, wasn't it? The 360
one. The one where you didn't really even play as Turok. It was kind of just like a placeholder guy.
Yeah, it was just like his dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was essentially, right, guys, we've seen what they've done with Call of Duty. We're going to try and emulate that, mixed in with Aliens.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and take everything that was good in Aliens, and we're gonna apply it to this world of dinosaurs.
It kind of had that feeling as well of that they tried to make, like you remember Predators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like making Predators, but then not having a main protagonist. You were playing as the one of the guys.
Yeah, it was just like
you were just part of the group. Yeah, you just played as the dude who generally got killed
They
off.
tried to. It's pretty much trying to be Quake 4. That's what it was trying to do with the campaign, and it's a real shame because the voice actors. I'm not saying the voice acting. The acting was not great, but the voice actors are good actors. You got, I believe it was William Fichtner, Powers Booth, Timothy Oliphant, Ron Perlman, Donnie Wahlberg.
I would marry that.
I'm pretty sure the guy who played Teal'c was in there as well.
All right.
Yeah, I might be wrong there, but was it Chris Judge? But you had a really good cast, and they're all so bland. This is the problem. Like, people just, I don't know whether it's the voice direct. It must be the voice directors.
It's people assuming that voice acting is the same as character acting on the TV screen.
But no,
it's
Ron,
completely
hold on. Like, I agree with you there, absolutely. But Ron Perlman has done quite a few games. Timothy Oliphant has done games as well.
Granted,
it's not.
But
not their first rodeo.
No, but you understand my point of someone who's big in Hollywood doesn't mean they can necessarily voice act. Hence why we have, going down in history, the horrible voice acting job that was Peter Dinklage in Destiny. Like, he can act on stage it's a totally different game when you're in the booth, and clearly he just can't hack it.
You know,
And having played
one that
Taken
actually
King
relates-
now, Nolan North is
Nolan
far,
North is
far
sick
better.
in it.
Yeah,
I haven't
good.
played it, but I've watched a voice comparison of them, and he's gone a little bit 343 Guilty Spark on us, but I'm okay with that.
It's
on
somewhere
that relatable
between
thing,
that, yeah.
On that relatable thing as well, with just saying about voice acts, before we go back to Turok, is remember Dark Sector? How it was on that kind of rise of when Smallville was about, and they basically hired Lex Luthor, the actor, to voice the main character in Dark Sector.
Yeah.
But
and
he's
that didn't work out as well.
just as a contrast, he was in another game which I absolutely loved, which was written by James Caan, who did Guardians of the Galaxy and Super and Sliver. Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, I loved
Oh,
Lollipop Chainsaw.
that was a good game.
So that guy, the guy who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, he was
he the
He was
head?
the head. He was Juliet's boyfriend. He was
God.
charismatic. He was enthusiastic. He really kind of sticks out on there as well.
But then doesn't that show then that a lot of these games, it's just down to the writing? When you say it is just the material that they're
Not
given?
100%, but
It's
I feel
between
a very
it's
big
somewhere.
part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's always a fine line
Bungie could-
between script and voice
That
directing.
wizard, it came from the moon.
Bungie could kill. Well, 343 Industries could kill any good voice actor. Like, Halo Reach, man. Like, there ain't no one who could have saved that. You could have literally.
I believe we
Novelty.
spoke about this a couple of weeks
Yeah, we've already spoken
ago.
about this one.
But yeah, it still stands.
Yeah,
it
I think
still
they could
stands
kill
on
anyone.
there.
So,
I mean,
but I think it's partly down to the actor as well.
on the positive sides of Turok, because it seems all we've done is bitch about it. I mean, what about the good things about the classic game? How would you bring that forward?
Dinosaurs, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but I mean,
because
they're
I'm
so
scared
basic.
that dinosaurs are becoming the new friggin' zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
only
gonna go all art.
because of things like Ark and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's
And
what.
don't forget that other
Yeah,
one.
but-
What's the other one called? The one was like a first-person shooter on but multiplayer thing.
Oh, Orion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's not
Nazis
that's a
versus
cash grab.
dinosaur. But
They're a
like-
really odd company. They keep on re-releasing it, updating it, changing the name slightly, then re-releasing the same game at another price.
But from all these bad examples of dinosaur games that we're seeing, especially with the last Turok game, with the old ones, how would you even improve dinosaurs?
Well, update the graphics of Turok, obviously, but like.
I'd make it like Left 4 Dead. I would
Ooh,
make
that's
it.
a good
I'd-
idea.
I'd make it like Left 4 Dead. I'd do it so, same kind of thing that Vermintide is doing currently. So it's going to be a different campaign levels going from point A to B, maybe with some different paths that go off with different options to finish off the finale in different ways.
Yeah.
Do objectives along the way. Maybe, we've got to this area. We need to get in this bunker, but we need to secure it. We've got to secure the electric fence and fend off these raptors whilst we're doing it.
That'd be so
And,
badass.
you'd get to the boss part, which would be a T-Rex, but it will have ads, so it'll have maybe baby T-Rexes or stuff like that at the same time.
Turok
Again-
MMO.
And
not
the
an
DLC, Jeff Goldblum DLC.
Yeah, you know what? We'll give it to somewhere between Turtle Rock and whichever studio develops the latest zombie side of
Yeah.
the Call of Duty franchise.
just-
We'll do somewhere between that. We'll stick in some big name people as well. We'll do some B movie people. I mean, Bruce Campbell and that's been done. Jeff. Do you say Jeff Goldblum's in the new one, isn't he?
Is
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Jeff Goldblum's going to be in the new Black Ops Zombies.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so buying that.
I could be wrong. I definitely heard that somewhere.
Don't lie
I
to me.
might have dreamt it.
That would have been such a good dream.
But I think it would work absolutely in that setting.
4 Dead,
And it's
that is
it's going to
such a
be
great
absolutely
idea.
great for, different weapons and things like that. Oh, I want a stealth section, so I'm going to use a bow as to not set off all these
Yeah.
different things. We'll stick the range weapons will be on bows. We'll have close range weapons. You can have axes, tomahawks. I know tomahawks is a throwing thing, but obviously you can use it for clubbing as well.
You could even do it like Metro Last Light.
Yeah.
Or like survival, but at the same time, kind of like a streamlined first-person
Alien
Yeah, just-
Isolation with a
Shut up.
dinosaur.
shooter. Get out. At least make it only 5 hours long, at least, if it's going to be like that.
But yeah, I mean, for me, that's how I would improve it, and that's how I would reboot it. Is I go along that same kind of line that Turtle Rock have done, and that Call of Duty have now done with the zombie section, which is very similar to Left 4 Dead anyway. I think that would actually work really well for it in its favour. Stick on like Steam Workshop as well, and jobs are good. And
Bob's your uncle. Okay, Adam, final one. Don't say Mass Effect 3.
What?
Pew, 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 pew.
Jak and Daxter.
Ooh.
okay.
You wouldn't reboot. So you'd reboot it instead of continuing it.
Yes, because they were gonna make Jak 4, and that became The Last of Us. So I don't necessarily think I wanted it going in that direction.
Good exchange though.
Yeah, Last of Us was good, but I don't necessarily think that like that was the direction I necessarily wanted to go in. I would reboot it because I think Jak and Daxter's aged very, very well.
No, I don't.
Do you not?
I think it's a horrible ass game from what I've played.
See, for me, it's a bit of an odd thing because I think it might be an age gap. It was around that kind of time
No,
I
see,
saw it.
I
I
think
wasn't overly interested in it. You know, I'd done the whole Crash Bandicoot thing. You know, I had Crash Bandicoot when the PS1 came out back in 96, 97. And I went through those, and then I lost interest when Crash Bandicoot went onto the next gen. I just never had any personal interest in Jak and Daxter, but with the way things are going, like I'm quite into my kind of happy indie games and stuff like that now, and platformers.
And I mean,
I think I might have a better appreciation these days than what I would have at that time, at that age.
we were supposed to get like I don't know, the old-fashioned collectathon is a game genre that's kind of died out a little bit, which I don't necessarily think is a good thing because I quite enjoy them. And Jak 1 was this big collectathon where you collect the precursor orbs, you collect the eggs. And Jak 2 and 3 maybe took away from that and focused a little bit more on the combat because you were older Jak, you could speak now, and you had the access to guns and stuff in rage mode and stuff. But Jak 1 for me was the pinnacle of Jak and Daxter.
Sounds a lot like the older Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games.
Yeah. And it's the case, if you go around collecting, you do little quests for people, and every character's just quirky and adorable. And
Collecting those chocolate eggs.
yeah, exactly. Like, and there's so many hidden things to, like there was a part where you go onto a beach, and if you scare away all 3 flocks of pigeons before the first flock re-lands, you get a precursor orb. And it's stuff like that like, it's just such a...
Chocolate egg.
No, because the precursor orb isn't a chocolate egg. You're thinking of the precursor eggs.
Whatever.
Yeah, so if you're going to chip in, get your fucking facts straight, right?
Oh!
Don't insult me by butting in with incorrect information, right? No, but I'm just saying the joy of finding that and like the communities it creates is something that
Are you whispering about chocolate eggs?
Yeah, he is. He's been a right dick.
What on earth is he on about?
I don't know. He thinks it's funny, I guess. And yeah, so it brings together people, and like that kind of collectathon thing is such a community-based thing. It's like, oh, I found this. What about you? And it's I think it's such like a good genre of game that we don't get anymore. And I know because people are like, oh well, you know, we like some action in our game, but totally, Jak and Daxter 1, I would just love even if they just rebooted that one and just brought it into the modern era a bit. The control scheme and the camera is wonky as hell.
Make it easier as well.
Yeah.
Whoa. I thought it was a little bit frustrating.
It wasn't that hard though. I managed to 100% it within like one sitting, I think.
Whoa! Good for you.
If you're gonna make it easier, please just don't do, oh look, this shit's glowing gold.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. Obviously, neither of you have really got into it that much, so it's kind of.
I mean, I played Jak 1 and 2. I haven't played. I've got.
Plus,
the other
Jak
ones
X is one of the greatest racing games of all time.
Which I've got. I've actually got that sitting right next to me. I'm ready to play that.
Just out of curiosity, are we talking? Was Jak a separate series to Jak and Daxter, or have I gone
Daxter
mad?
had his own game, but Jak is never separate from Daxter.
Okay.
It's kind of like Banjo and Kazooie.
Daxter is in.
Kazooie's like the bitch.
Daxter is in Jak X, and Jak 3 and Jak 2.
Because I think I always
Jak
got
isn't
confused
in
between. I always got confused between Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank reboot! No, I'm not going into it.
That's already done. They're already doing.
There
it.
is a new one coming. Yeah.
Really?
It's the reboot.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Josh did a video about it.
I don't watch Josh's shitty videos.
Oh my
Where's-
goodness! It's Adam bullying Josh Day. today.
Sorry, what was that? Chocolate eggs? Yeah, shut your mouth, in it, bruv.
I was joking, but
Oh, sick!
Yeah.
I'm getting a PlayStation 4.
yeah, there's going to be a complete brand new reboot of Ratchet and Clank, which is fantastic. So it's going to be the Drek. one
Oh,
from the beginning.
sick! I'm so excited. Well, that's made my day.
The only issue with that though is it's supposed to be running alongside the movie, so it's supposed to be like a game of the movie while the movie is part of the game.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Wow, that works.
it's
That
like
works
an
so
interpretation of
well.
both.
That works so well for Sonic Boom.
Yeah, basically that. That's literally what they're trying to do. I think. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting because like I really like Nexus. It's completely off topic to all that stuff, but I don't think they should have rebooted it. I think it should have just kept going. Like they still had that story where it was supposed to be about. Do people follow Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, Adam does. So, like, you had that whole thing about the Dimensionator hat and stuff, and they never finished that off. Like, at the end of that story, spoilers, it was all about how Clank was potentially going to fix that hat, and he was going to find his homeworld. They're rebooting now, so that means we're never going to see that. It's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's best left to the imagination. I didn't want to see what happened when Riddick got his army of necromancers.
They're going to do that. There's already another Riddick film, so you're already going to see
Oh,
that.
come on.
It's a good film.
Oh, no, I have seen that. That's the one with Batista, where Batista bombs Riddick.
He's a good ass actor. I'm sorry,
He
but he does
Batista
well.
bombs Riddick on a dark planet.
I mean, come on, that's what you want to see.
Just as a completely side note. Now, going back to the Black Ops stuff at the moment.
Oh, are you going to tell us the cast list?
Yes.
Before you do, leave the woman out because I want to say her name because it's ridiculous and I don't know why the fuck she's in it.
Why not? Why? Anyway. Okay, so we've got Jeff Goldblum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We've
And
got
then we got,
we've got Neil McDonough, Donahue.
yeah,
Who
the man we were
you'll
just
know
speaking about earlier as well, isn't it?
Were we?
Ron Perlman. No, I'm on about Ron Perlman.
Oh no,
yes,
we're-
Ron Perlman's in
Ron
it.
Perlman's in it. But yeah, Neil
so
McDonough
good.
was the guy who was in Minority Report,
Yeah.
and he played what's his name, Dum Dum Dugan in Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You've also got Robert Picardo, the
Yep.
Doctor from Voyager. He was
So
actually a
good.
really nice guy. Actually, I met him.
the best actor in that entire series. as well.
Met him at Comic Con in 2008, I think it was, and he started singing with Jonathan Frakes. It was great.
Oh, wow.
And last but not least,
Is this
Adam?
me?
yeah,
Heather Graham. Why? Like,
why not?
because it's Heather Graham.
And
She can't.
What's wrong with Heather Graham?
she was good in Boogie Nights. She was good in
Yes.
The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah, and
she
then
was
she
good in
stopped being-
Scrubs.
She
Yeah, she was
kinda-
gonna say Scrub. She was bad.
Yeah.
at
kind of
Scrubs.
stopped being good as soon as it kind of hit the 2000s. She was
She was
terrible.
all about
in
anger
Hangover.
management, where she was like really good at eating cake and being angry.
Wasn't she also in The Guru?
Oh, we don't
Yeah,
talk
we don't
about
talk
that.
No,
I
I,
could-
don't know.
I could
think,
be
I just
wrong.
feel like Heather Graham's a weird choice for a Call of Duty. All those other dudes have
Yeah.
like their heavyweights, and she's kind of like, I don't know. It's a strange
Well,
choice for a Call of Duty game. I don't know whether her voice will suit it. Is what I'm thinking.
Especially after you've had Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Yeah.
obviously from Buffy the Vampire. Then you also had the girl from, was it Bewitched,
Ooh.
and that Rodriguez movie.
Oh, Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like-
And then you also had Robert Englund as
Mm-hmm.
well, who plays Freddy Krueger.
He's not a woman.
She's not. Yeah, I don't know. why
Are
you bring it-
we just doing women? Okay.
Yeah, that was the point.
He doesn't
I
have
don't
tatters.
feel like I don't feel like she's the right voice for it, but we'll see. She might prove me wrong, and I'll be
Yeah,
happily
totally.
proved wrong if she does.
Right. And before we end this
Also,
one,
Kevin
obviously it's got to be
Spacey
my
was a
final
thing,
pick.
Just a reminder.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Poor Kaiser Soze.
Final game for me. Now, this is a really difficult one because Tom kind of ruined it for me because I wanted a dinosaur game as well. And this is the thing. I'm going to both let you have a go at guessing what my dinosaur game reboot was going to be.
Dino Crisis.
God damn it! So yeah, I initially wanted... This is the thing. I initially wanted Dino Crisis because I think it would have been awesome if they'd made it like Evil Within.
What? We were
No,
just
let's backtrack here. Let's make it like Resident Evil 4, okay? Let's just
Well,
put
that's what I
that to
mean.
bed.
That's what I mean. Literally like that. So, over the shoulders kind of thing, dinosaurs.
Okay.
Try and make it spooky, kind of like Dead Space maybe, where they kind of jump out and shit.
Or if they just make a remake of it with the fixed camera, like they've
Yeah,
done for
just do that.
like they've done for Resident Evil HD, and what they're doing for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil
Yeah.
0.
Just don't shove it in freaking space, and we'll be
I
fine.
love the fixed camera of Resident Evil though. It's like it's the thing that makes it so scary. That in
I
Dino
love
Crisis
those tank
would
controls.
be
The actual
insane.
game that I was going to mention, and this one I hold so dear to my heart because I used to play the demo to shit on the PlayStation 1.
Is it Parappa the Rapper?
No! Thanks for ruining... No, it's not. It's Colony Wars. Do you remember Colony Wars?
Yes.
We do. We just wanted you to die.
Yeah.
Die inside. Space combat, first person. It was so good, and the thing that I loved as well, it had branching paths. Just the really unusual combination, but it was just that fact that it was such tight space combat on a PlayStation 1 game, and you could do so much with it now. You could bring that so much into the future, and you don't get, again, any games like this. I think like the last kind of thing we probably got was like Warhawk.
Yeah,
and then maybe
the only one at the moment is Elite Dangerous, which is on Xbox One.
but we can't even bring that game up. I mean,
Guys,
let's not talk about
We
Elite
also
Dangerous.
are getting Star Fox Zero. Are you not?
Go away.
Shoo.
We're not talking about Star Fox Zero either, especially that stupid polygonal robot that looks drunk.
No, but I'm saying, isn't Star Fox Zero your answer, Josh?
No, it's
No.
not, because it's not first person.
There's no.
was
It's on the
joking.
rails.
I know Star Fox is terrible. I was joking.
Keep your foxes out of it!
Them horrible puppets that the Nintendo lot brought.
Oh, that was so good. I wonder where those puppets are right now.
That was
I want to
great.
know where those puppets are. And they had those little metal shoes, which made... Does that mean that they had like feet amputated and they had these like little cut feet?
Isn't that for G-Force or something?
I don't know, but it was so funny. And they didn't wear
God.
pants. It's like a little skirt jacket. It made no sense.
So yeah, sorry, a new
Colony Wars.
Colony Wars. Sorry.
I would love that. I mean, it's one of those things, again, of just like Tenchu, where you don't have games like that anymore. And I don't know why.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff. I think the PS1 was probably the last wave of like innovative games that we've had, as far as like the varying genres and different styles and things like you could like Cooler World.
Oh, Cooler
Yeah,
World.
you got
That
Cooler
demo
World.
as
You
well
got
was
some
really
great
good.
platformers, things like Pandemonium.
Oh, now this is the thing. We'll use mine as really badass. We'll just make my section just like all games we want to bring into the future. Let's just keep like spewing them out. Life Force Tenka. Do you remember that?
No.
Demo again. And basically with that one, you had like a gun, but it had so many... It was like Judge Dredd. You had like multi-fire modes. So you had like Hot Shot and like Heat Seeker and everything like that. And again, a demo that I just played to death. Wasn't there another one? Was it Freedom Fighters?
There was Unholy War. Was one of them.
Oh, that was weird. Do you remember that? That was like top-down Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that was great.
Weird ass aliens.
You know, one of them was a rhino with 6 legs that farted. The other one was like was a reptile-looking raptor thing called Piranha, which shat out babies. You know, and the other one, its move was called Kill Cycle, and you flew around, and you basically just kamikazed and blew everything up.
Right, enough of that one. Now we're gonna move on to another. So come on, Adam, have you got any?
Okay, we're gonna fast shoot them. Okay.
Okay, an actual Beyond Good and Evil that's gonna come out at some time because Ubisoft is
nice.
just fucking about.
Yeah.
Love it. Come on, Tom.
Lots of stuff. I personally like to see a new Parappa the Rapper or Jamalami game.
Why?
I really like the old school rhythm games. It was
Kick.
No. Story-wise was good. It was funny. It was colourful. It was very different. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, next one for me will probably be Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Earthworm Jim, because Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim. Someone finish the song.
No, you're on your own there.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim, because Earthworm Jim.
Gex.
Oh,
Gex.
nice.
Gex is so
Yeah,
Loved it.
as far as platformers go, it's very tongue-in-cheek, and we don't get that more kind of slightly adult-orientated, but also available for kids stuff.
Is
it's
Crystal
one thing or the
Dynamics
other.
dead now?
No, don't they? Isn't it Tomb Raider? Didn't they become Square Enix or part of them?
Because you remember they had the Gex was their logo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that so could have still had life if they'd kept that. Okay, Taifu, Wrath of the Tiger. Do you remember that one?
Vaguely.
That was like another top-down one, but you played as like a kung fu tiger. It was good.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, I'll replace that one. Croc.
Okay, that's better.
You know what? Croc needs a remake because it had such promise, but if you play it today, my god, it is the worst piece of shit you've ever
Is it?
played.
It doesn't even work on PlayStation 1 anymore.
Oh.
It's just it's the camera angles are crap.
I've
The
heard about
controls
that.
are crap. It's nigh impossible to complete these days. It's awful. It's just
Spitfire.
awful.
Is it me? Medieval.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, nice one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
All over that.
That'll be the reason. That'll be
Sorry,
the
did
reason.
you ask why?
Okay.
Because Medieval's
No, that's
awesome.
it. Just use that all over it.
Okay.
Because it just needs to be back.
Okay, are we gonna do one last one very quickly? We're just gonna say the name. Okay, Micromaniacs.
Oh.
Just say a
It
name,
was-
Josh.
Oh, we do see it quickly? Okay. Beautiful Joe.
Full Spectrum Warrior.
You
Nice.
son of a bitch.
Nice.
That's I would have said that.
Nice.
Actually.
Nice.
Well, everybody, we have to end this one here, but thank you all for taking part, listening, just breathing in our awesome opinionage and falling outinage. But
No, I felt like with you because you interrupted me with incorrect facts.
I was just playing.
I don't need your play. I was going to say charity, but
You know nothing of the crunch.
Oh, it's gonna come up eventually.
you know
There
nothing
it
of the
goes,
crunch.
Tyler. But either way, we have to end this one here. Thank you, everyone, as mentioned. Any last words, everyone? Any plugs? Anything you're doing this week? Any Twitters?
Yeah, I'm off
that we
to
want
the
to
crunch
share?
with Tony Harrison.
Oh god, here we go, style. I don't know why I did
with
this.
a purpose. Right,
I'm also going to the crunch.
Everyone's going to the
Twitter at British Buck.
Come on, Adam.
Twitter
Good luck
at
with yours.
Mr. 121 Adam 121.
Look at that, it was speed.
Also, youtube.com/Mr. 121 Adam 121.
Tom, do you want to add your YouTube just for the lols?
No, because it's still Dear Sleazy.
Do it!
Come
Dear
on.
Sleazy.
Just check out Dear Sleazy. And finally, obviously, you can find me on Twitter, which is noir_proxy, and my channel been Proxy Playthroughs. It has been 3 gamers and a mic, and you may notice the gameplay. It is Warhammer Vermintide. Because I'm playing it and they aren't! But either way, ciao for now.
I hate you.
Yeah, I hate you too.